Placekicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, Harrison Butker, is under fire right now for a commencement speech he gave at Benedictine College last weekend. In this speech, the man pulled no punches. He stood up for traditional Christian conservative values. I want to play a little bit of this speech for you, and then I want to discuss it because I believe it was glorious.
I think it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolical lies told to you. How many of you are sitting here now, about to cross this stage, and are thinking about all the promotions and titles you are going to get in your career? Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world. I can tell you that my beautiful wife, Isabel, would be the first to say that her life truly started when she began living her vocation as a wife and as a mother. By making it to this moment through all the adversity thrown your way from COVID, I hope you learned the important lessons that suffering in this life is only temporary. As a group, you witnessed firsthand how bad leaders who don't stay in their lane can have a negative impact on society. While COVID might have played a large role throughout your formative years, it is not unique. Bad policies and poor leadership have negatively impacted major life issues. Things like abortion, IVF, surrogacy, euthanasia, as well as a growing support for degenerate cultural values in media, all stem from the pervasiveness of disorder. Our own nation is led by a man who publicly and proudly proclaims his Catholic faith, but at the same time is delusional enough to make the sign of the cross during a pro-abortion rally. He has been so vocal in his support for the murder of innocent babies that I'm sure to many people, it appears that you can be both Catholic and pro-choice. The world around us says that we should keep our beliefs to ourselves whenever they go against the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We fear speaking truth because now, unfortunately, truth is in the minority. Congress just passed a bill where stating something as basic as the biblical teaching of who killed Jesus could land you in jail. I am certain the reporters at the AP could not have imagined that their attempt to rebuke and embarrass places and people like those here at Benedictine wouldn't be met with anger, but instead met with excitement and pride. Not the deadly sin sort of pride that has an entire month dedicated to it, but the true God-centered pride that is cooperating with the Holy Ghost to glorify Him.
God bless Harrison Butker for having the courage to attempt to live out his convictions and to use his platform to speak up for conservative Christian values. That is why he's in hot water right now. That is why the NFL has already released a statement trying to distance itself from Mr. Butker. That is why the people in the mainstream media are trying to make him out to be a right-wing bigot, and why there's currently a petition on change.org with almost 200,000 signatures at the time of my recording of this video. They don't want Christians who have the courage to live their convictions. They want Christians who keep their religion to themselves. Well, I've got news for you. We're not commanded to do that. We are commanded to love people and to share the gospel of Jesus Christ with the world. That is our job. And they don't like someone who says certain things are sinful. It is wrong to be a Catholic in particular, because he's Catholic, and to support the murder of the unborn. I would say it's wrong to be a Christian, period, regardless of what sect you belong to believe that God is okay with the shedding of innocent blood when the scriptures say clearly it is not. And this supposedly Catholic president is an insult to anyone who calls himself Catholic. He is an insult to anyone who calls himself Christian, because a truly Christian person would not support the shedding of innocent blood. It is not morally wrong to say that what the LGBT alphabet soup community is trying to do to our children by mutilating their genitals and supporting gender confusion is morally wrong. Their version of pride, my friends, is sinful. Mr. Butler was right about that. And he was right about calling out Christians who were afraid to stand up during the COVID-19 pandemic. He was right to do that, because it is because of Christians who had no balls that the government got away with what they've done. And people are dead because of lockdown measures. People are dead because of the government's response to COVID-19. Not the disease itself, but because of the government's response to it. And it is wrong to not speak out against it. That's why I'm doing it. And God bless Mr. Butker for having the courage to do it. God bless him for standing up for traditional conservative values. And you know who else is on board with this? Who is standing up for Mr. Butker? Now, they would have you believe that he's a misogynist. But oh, no. Women are coming out and supporting his message. God bless these ladies. Because according to Outkick.com, the women's sizes of his jersey are now out of stock, because women are buying his jersey and wearing it to show support for what he said. Don't give up on this country, because we're tired of it. Those of us who believe in conservative Christian values, I'm asking you, have the courage to do what Mr. Butker has done. Have the courage to live out your convictions and to say consequences belong to God, but this is my moral duty to live out my convictions and to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, regardless of what happens to me. I will tell you that the reason America is in the mess that we are in, the reason that communism is ever encroaching on the American people, is because Christians have not realized the Christian foundations of this republic. They think that we're some secular nation. Oh, no. The foundations of this country are Christian. The ideas that the founding fathers fought for came from the Bible. They don't want to hear that. Even many of my brethren don't believe that because they've been brainwashed. They don't want you to believe that this country is a covenant nation with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Our ancestors put that covenant into place, and we have not upheld it. And I want to tell you right now that we have a moral responsibility to renew that covenant and to stand up for these things. Because even though they may not be popular, they are morally right. And since when, I want to ask you, since when is what is morally right ever popular? I am tired of Christians who have no balls, who would stand by and watch the New Testament be outlawed. And if you don't believe me, that bill that he spoke out against is the same anti-Semitism bill that I did a video on. And if that bill is allowed to pass the Senate and be signed into law by the president, because it's already passed the House of Representatives, if it's allowed to pass the Senate, it will effectively make the New Testament illegal. And that will tear to shreds the First Amendment on grounds of freedom of speech and freedom of religion. I'll post a link to that video as well. Please educate yourself. And please have the courage to stand up for the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And stand up for Christ. I'm speaking to my brethren here. We will not be held blameless if evil is allowed to triumph in America. It will be our fault. We are the bringers of the light. We cannot count on the world to bring light, because the light is already in you. You have to let it out and let it be expressed. If you agree with me, please help me to get this message out, because Mr. Butker did the right thing. and he deserves to be praised and honored for having the courage to speak out and to use his platform to speak out for what's good and what is right. Please like this video and share it around. It helps the algorithm. And please also subscribe to my channel. Help me grow the channel and help me get out this message, because I'm fighting for the same thing. I'm fighting for the values of limited government. And I'm fighting for the same values that Mr. Butker is fighting for. I'm fighting for traditional, conservative, Christian values. Please like it, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.